But Mrs. Tittlemouse was so alarmed at the prospect that she said good day and scuttled off, back to her home. But what a surprise awaited her on her return.
Mr. Jackson. How do you do, Mr. Jackson? Dearie me, you have got very wet.
Thank you, Mrs. Tittlemouse. I'll sit a while and dry myself.
I have had a very distressing morning, Mr. Jackson. But now I think it is time for my dinner.
Dinner, Mrs. Tittlemouse. The very thing, indeed, the very thing.
Cherry stones, Mr. Jackson? They are the last of my winter store, but very good. Oh.
No teeth. No teeth. No teeth.
Why, Mr. Jackson, I declare. No teeth? No teeth at all. Thistledown seed, Mr. Jackson. These are very soft.
Tiddly widdly widdly. Poof, poof, poof.
Mr. Jackson!
Thank you, Mrs. Tittlemouse. Now, what I really should like would be a dish of honey.
I'm afraid I haven't got any, Mr. Jackson.
Tiddly widdly widdly, Mrs. Tittlemouse. I can smell it. That's why I came to call.
Really, Mr. Jackson, I have no honey in my cupboards. You are all a puddle, Mr. Jackson. You are dripping dirty water onto my nice, clean floor. Indeed, you will stick fast, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, tiddly widdly widdly. No honey. No honey, Mrs. Tittlemouse.
Oh, Mr. Jackson.
Is it in here, Mrs. Tittlemouse? Oh, tiddly widdly widdly, Mrs. Tittlemouse, you seem to have plenty of visitors.
And without any invitation. Oh, Mr. Jackson, here is Babbity Bubble. Oh, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson!
I do not like bumblebees. They are all over bristles. Buzz whiz whiz! I've found the honey, Mrs. Tittlemouse.
I shall go distracted.
Mr. Jackson pulled out the bee's nest and ate the honey. He seemed to have no objection to stings and could not be stopped. So the bees gathered up their pollen bags and flew away to find a quieter place for their nest.
Smears of honey and moss and thistledown and marks of dirty feet all over my nice clean house. Will it ever be tidy again?
Poor Mrs. Tittlemouse. But the next morning she got up very early and began a spring cleaning, which lasted a fortnight. First, she fetched some twigs and made the front door narrower so that Mr. Jackson should not get in again. Then she swept and scrubbed and dusted, and she rubbed up the furniture with beeswax and polished her little tin spoons. When it was all beautifully neat and clean, she gave a party to 5 other little mice, without Mr. Jackson. He smelt the party and came up the bank, but he could not squeeze in at the door. It was such a happy party. Mrs. Tittlemouse had quite forgiven Mr. Jackson. And although she had no food to suit his tastes, he sat outside in the sun all afternoon, and they handed him acorn cupfuls of honeydew. And he was not at all offended.
Tiddly widdly widdly. Your very good health, Mrs. Tittlemouse.